So it's come to my attention, and I knew it before because I did the same thing up here, but the cover isn't sitting flat, and that's because between cutting and scoring and everything, this frame, and then burnishing it, I stretched the paper so it's just not laying flat. So I'm going to try and fix that. And what we're going to do is try and figure out what the best place is to, like, where it is stretched the most. And right now it's between either here or here. I think I'm going to do this one. And what you do, it's going to, like, it's going to not be perfect. It's going to overlap a little bit, but not enough to worry about. So we're going to cut the frame in half, and it overlaps not even a 1/16 of an inch, but if you can see, what that did was lay it flatter. And then what I'm going to do is just take this bird that I cut out, and I'm going to use that to glue it back together. So the bird, I'm just going to cover it with glue because, like, the whole thing is going to be on the seam. Pull that down. And use him to cover that. I think I may have to do one here too. In order to do that, I've got to find something else to use. And I don't know how I did that, but I got a mark there, so maybe that's a good thing. So let's see here. I think maybe a circle, or possibly like one of these tags to make it look like it's there to label. If I do that, I think I'm going to do the same thing I did last time and use a punch. And back it with some black cardstock. Actually, I'm going to put this on the black cardstock and then I'm going to punch it. I'm going to get rid of those holes. Okay, so let's see if this helps or not. So when I pull everything down to this side, it buckles a little bit. Let's see if I cut this and overlap it the way that it wants to. Oh, I've got to get rid of this, of course. Okay. And then I'm going to put the glue here. hold that whole thing down, and then I'll put glue on the back of this in a second. I don't want it to overlap a lot. I don't want it to stick out of the side of the album. That may get rid of some of that stretch, and then just put that on there. It's laying a little flatter. That's just about as good as it's gonna get though. So I had to cut it here, here, and here. So you have to judge whether the design element is worth it or not. If you had a magnet here, then maybe it wouldn't be such a big deal. But our magnet to hold it shut is here. Got to decide what we're doing with the tags, and then the other thing is that having just added that one page, we're getting kind of bulky. We still have lots of room, but I'm kind of thinking I'm going to move this page, these two pages, to the end and leave these blank for now, so that every other page has a new design element on it, and then every other page is blank. And then if it's not too bulky, when we get done, we can add some more. So that's the idea. So I'm going to leave this one blank. I'm not going to mat anything. And I'm going to move these two design elements. This one's going to be a page. This one I'm going to skip. So I'm going to move these here. And then this is the double pocket. And then this one now one, we can go ahead and do. You never want to skip the ones with the gussets. It's the ones with the regular page. Okay, so now for the triple pocket page. On this side, let's do blues on this one. If you haven't noticed, I like to color coordinate my pages. So blue or green. I want to do, okay, let's do this. This one's pink. This one's yellow. Let's make this one blue. So I'm going to put a sticky note in here so I don't forget. And then we'll make this one green. So I like this leafy pattern here, green. And we can use this one again. which we use just a tad on here. Somewhere here. We used it on that side, but we can use it here. But these are going to have tags in it, so we'll put a plainer paper on the back of that. And what we're going to do is cut the tag down, or the mat down to page with the mat is 5.5, so we'll cut it at 5 3/8. And then this should be 7.5, but we're going to cut it at 8. So that'll give us just a little bit of wiggle room for 5 3/8 to cut down our pockets, and then still have a little bit to tuck in. So the bottom pocket's going to be the exact same size as what I need the pocket to be, and we're going to cut that at 2 inches. Okay, now the next one should be a bit more than 2 inches. Nope, we're going to cut that one at 2 inches too, because we want it, the pocket itself that sticks out from here, which you can't see, to here is 1 3/4. If you cut it to 2, you have enough to stick down in. So that's that one. This one should be the same. It ends right here. It's a little bit bigger just because I didn't shove it down as far. So I'm going to cut that one at like 2 1/8. And then this one should tuck right in here. And then you'll have all the same pocket. But before we put those on, and I want to label these so I don't mix them up. So one of the things I decided is that I want a border on my pockets. So I have these scrap pieces of paper that are cut the exact same length as my pockets or mats, doesn't matter, because we can always trim them. And I'm just using the same punch as I did before and making a mess. And I thought I had 4 of these. Oh, I just need 3 for it. Okay. And what I'll do is you can trim them down a little bit. They don't have to be perfect because we're going to glue them to the underside of this paper. I just line it up on one side. And trim the remainder. Now this leaves like a half of a arc that's going to get tore, so I just cut that off. There we go. Nobody will see it. this one, I'll trim on my trimmer. Okay. Okay, now these are all ready to put on. And it doesn't matter where you start. I'll start from the bottom. And that scallop is going to stick up over the pocket. So that when you put the next one on, you slide it under the pocket. Not liking. There we go. Okay. This one. In there. It's a bit tight, that's my problem, but that's okay. The bottom of my scallop edge is pretty much aligning with the top of the pocket. There we go. And I didn't get enough glue on. Okay. Now we just find some little things to stick in here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on that. Because I don't think this needs more glue. Because when I mat things, I want to use my scraps. So I want to use the big pages for the big thing. So I'll make some tags and stuff, and then just remember that this one goes all the way down in. So that one's going to be a big one. So that's fun. Okay, now this next page is this double flap pocket page. And I didn't mat these yet, or I didn't glue these down yet, because I wanted to mat them and I wanted to do like a cutout here. So let's add some corners, some decorative corners, and we'll use the let me use the stud punch. And yes, this is easier to do before you glue it down. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do yet when I glued it down. So just a little bit of patience to get them all lined up. Okay. Whoops. Hang on. And this is still green, but I think this would be a good place to put one of these cut aparts. So we will do the solid green in the back and then outline this in black. Let's try that. Okay, so let's do this front flap in green. 4.5 by 4.5. Just so you guys know, one of my goals is to use all the paper that I have. I want to use it. So, yeah, and plan on it. It's gonna take quite a bit of paper. And I like this subtle pattern in the background. It's this pattern, but a lot lighter. Okay. And then how about let's make a pocket with that. So we'll do this is 3 by 4, so we'll do, let's see, 4 1/4, 5 1/4 by 3 1/8, and then we'll score on the long side. Score at 4 3/4 and 1/2 inch. Before you glue it down, test it to make sure what you want. Looks good. And glue your folds and the bottom. Make sure that's the bottom. There we go. And just remember, you can build this up a lot because it has a big gusset here. Okay, and I want to mat the back. Let's go ahead and use this paper for the back. And so we're going to punch this one and this one. I'm going to trim a little bit more off of that. Makes me feel a little better. There we go. And when I bent it, the glue came off. Let that dry. That side's okay. Okay, so I was going to put these pockets on the inside, but I think I've changed my mind and I want to put some plain photo mats on the inside. So these are going here. And I found that if you break up the patterns with some solid colors, that it adds to, like, it just brings the paper out more. So, granted, I'm going to use less paper this way, so if you're trying to conserve paper, it's another good thing. But in this case, I just think that it needs that. So now let's go ahead and get these matted. These are 3 3/4 by not quite 4 1/2. So let me see. I think maybe a pattern, since everything is pretty plain here. That's a nice one. How about this one? Oh, the 8 by 8. And you can use the 12 by 12 if you want. So the 4 1/2, not quite 4 1/2, once I want it to go this way. So I'm going to take and cut the opposite way, 3 3/4 minus 1/8 of an inch. That's the short way. And then I'm going to have to do it again here. 3/4. Make sure that that works. Yep, that looks good. And then not quite 4 1/2, so we'll do it at 4 15/16. Let's see how that works. And that looks good. 4 15/16. which is one little notch over the 4¼ mark. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to make a place where I'm going to pull out. So I'm just going to use my punch this time. Line everything up in the center this way and on this side here. And then I'm going to take this punch and I'm going to go halfway, which there's two little things there. Make sure that I'm lined up in the center and punch. And then when you pull it back a little bit, it's going to give you a little bit of a outline there. Do the same with this one. Line it up in the center, all the way to one, and then all the way to the long side. Line your punch up in this. Oops, that didn't work. Line your punch. I keep moving it. Okay. No shifting. I shifted. I'm going to washi tape it if I don't get it right this time. There we go. And about in the middle. That looks pretty good. There we go. All right, let's go ahead. And we can use the wet glue so around the front. So we don't have to try and tape around that edge. And there we go. Same on this one. Just since I have the glue out, we'll just glue all the way around it. And alrighty, and then you just take and glue the pockets on, and we glue 3 sides. And we'll let that dry and then we'll do the inserts. Make sure when you put that back pocket on, you can still open your front pocket or close your front pocket. Okay. I screwed it a little bit further up. Okay, so now we're going to mat the rest of the pocket, and I just got these cut a little shorter than 4½. They're cut at a couple different sizes, but it won't matter because they're going to tuck down into the pocket. You just want to make sure that it's wide enough that it tucks down into the pocket like that. then let's do some tags for those. They can stick out pretty far. That may be a little too long. Let's take a 1/2 inch off of that. So these tags are going to be 4.5 by 4. Okay. And then we're going to stub punch these to match this. We're going to mat them, and then let's actually make those tuck down into. Let's cut these to, let's come down to 3 inches. And we'll stub punch that again because I have something in mind. So we're going to do 3 by 4. My punch is leaking. I have to empty it. Okay, stub punch. So I just had another idea. So we got 3 by 4s. Those fit in too much. Let's do 4 by 4s. Let's see how that works. That's 2. Okay, 3.5 by 4s. We'll get it here in a minute. 3.5 by 4. I'm trying to get them to be like even here. Or close. That's going to be close. As long as I glued them approximately in the same place. Okay. 3.5 by 4s. These I cut wrong. We'll stick them in here. Stub punch. And then I'm going to take what I cut off, I think, and put it there. Or I can mat them and take what I cut off and put it there. So what do I want to do? It'd be interesting to mat with the opposite side of that paper. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll use this one. Okay. Okay, so these are 3.5 by 4.5, so I want them, no, these are not 3.5 by 4.5, these are 3.5 by 4. 3.5 by 4, so we're going to go, these don't seem to be big enough to fit on those. Let's take, I don't know. I don't know yet. Let's think about that. I'm tabling this idea because I like it. I'm just not sure yet. Still, I haven't decided whether I'm going to put a page closure on it or not. This big page here, I'm going to go ahead and use that pink stamp paper. Let's use the bigger one though. Which is and this should be 5.5 by 7.5. So I'm going to cut this at 5 3/8 by 7 3/8. Everything should still fold up. Yep, we're good. And that's just a big spot you can put photos or journaling or whatever you would like. So, I don't know. I'll have to think about the closure on that, if I need one or not. Let's get the rest of it done and see. Okay, now this is the opposite side belly band that I wanted to do with the closure flat this way. Get out another couple magnets. That on the bottom, because that's going to hold this on. Let's see. Are we doing yellow again? We're already back to yellow, yellow, blue, pink, and green. Yep, so we're doing yellow again. We used this pattern for the last major or main page. So let's go ahead and use this one. Let's do, well, I guess it goes this way. So again, 7 3/8, 5 3/8. Make sure it fits. That's good. to the outside. Make sure that it still closes. And I forgot to put this underneath it. You can just take your magnet, pull the backing away from it. And then close that shut. It'll give it you where it's supposed to be. And I like putting glue around the magnet. This gives it a little extra reinforcement there. And then let's go ahead and add a stub punch to the corners here. I got that one. Oops. Oh, kind of messed it up. Okay. Belly band. Gonna be lots of stuff in this book. That always happens. Make sure it closes. Okay, now how about a little color on there? Use the same pink as before. This is 2 inches, so I'm cutting this at 1 7/8. Oh, kind of like that too. There's more yellow on this side though. And then let's see if I can find a sticker to go with that. There we go, right in the middle. That's another reason why I didn't want to use the other side, because there was a flamingo right there. I didn't want to cover it up. And then this bottom flap is 2 3/8 by 5 1/4. And I think we're going to go with the plain cream. Or how about the cream and then a strip of paper on both sides? I like that idea. So room for journaling here. And then maybe this. You want it the same height as the cream, so it's 2 1/4. Okay, stub punch this side. This side. And then we want to go, we can go pink stripe, we can go the plain yellow. I don't really like the stripes that much. We can go all pink. Kind of like this. That's the back of the cut-aparts. You know I have issues using the back of the cut-aparts. Or I can use just a cut out and leave the rest blank. Let's think about that.